Hello everybody, I'm here on penguin.gg. This video is going to be a quick Dboss guide, including summoner spawn locations, and telling you which ones are the best, and some of the best strategies to use when fighting dragons. So first up, summoner spawn locations. So you have a couple that spawn near the entrance portal. You have a group that spawns about here, just like that. You have an occasional one or two over here. Big groups often spawn right about here. And then nothing until right here. Big groups often spawn here, 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 right here, right there, right in the middle there, and small groups known as spawns here. A single one sometimes spawn here, and often big groups spawn right about on this block here. Next up, you have big groups often spawn here, and up top there. Big groups often spawn right here. And then there are a couple scattered around, like right here. There's one about here. None here. One right there. I think that's all the summoner spawn spots. That's all the big ones anyway. Next up, what you want is defensive armor. And to craft that, you use /Dboss, crafting, and then you place 10 frags per slot in the same shape as normal armor. So for a helmet you would need 50 frags in the helmet shape, leggings 70 frags, boots 40 frags, chestplate 80 frags, etc. But I would recommend, instead of crafting it, once you get, say for example, 25 defensive frags, ask in chat for people trading boots for the defensive frags, because then you can get a whole set of defensive armor for, instead of 240 frags, you can get it for around like the 150 kind of mark, or even a little bit less if you get lucky. So yeah, definitely go for trades, and then to upgrade them, all you're going to do is in the crafting area, you're going to surround a piece of armor, just like this, with 10 frags. That takes it from level 1 to level 2. Then from level 2 to level 3 is 20 frags. Level 3 to level 4, 30. Level 4 to level 5, 40. Note, it is always better to upgrade a full set, like your whole set, by 1 level, than upgrade one piece by 2 or 3 levels. Okay? Always work on a whole set at a time. So once you get level 1, work on getting whole level 2, then whole level 3, etc. Now, what you want as far as a bow goes is, all you want is ideally a power 6 bow with Dragon Hunter 5. That's all you really need. Bounty 3 is optional, but definitely recommended. And preservation is optional as well. So use /HP when the dragons spawn to hide other players so that you can hit the dragon easier. Now, what you want to do, I'll talk about pets in a moment, but I do have an Iron Golem pet equipped. Now that Iron Golem pet gives me strength 2, which you'll see why that's important in a moment. So what you want to do, it'll take a while to get used to the boss's patterns. It loops around the pillars, does figure of 8s, circles, etc. And what you want to do is make sure to fully draw your bow back, fire, and obviously try to hit the drag as much as possible. When it goes into perch, I can explain how to do that. Should go into perch any second. Here it goes. So what you want to do is get in here, crouch just next to this ring, and then you want to spam click the dragon. Crits can give more damage, but it's really risky because the dragon often just boots you away. So you want to try to hit the dragon's head where possible, but with how it twists and turns, it's usually impossible. So yeah, just spam click to deal tons of damage. And as you can see, got 3,600 damage and 13 fragments without even placing any eyes. So that's really good. So now talking about pets and Endstone Mastery, which are both also very important for Dboss. So your pets. What pets do you want? So this right here is the best combination for grinding Dboss. You want a Wither pet to sometimes double the Dboss loot. You want an Iron Golem pet for the strength 2. It has to be level 2 or above to give you strength 2. And you want a Summoner pet for a chance to increase your eye drop chance. This is Mob Miner 25 of the future. So I didn't mention shulker pets in my videos so far, and I won't further because they're not as good as an Iron Golem pet. So if you have a tier 2 plus Iron Golem pet, it gives you strength 2, which lets you kill summoners just as fast as a tier 5 shulker pet. So if you don't have a tier 2 Iron Golem pet, use a shulker pet instead, and just use strength potions when you go in with the sword in Dboss. That's all from me. And also, side note, skeleton pet does not affect Dboss. So I'll cut here and I'll explain that more after this dragon. And it's an ancient, that's cool. Now I might include this as like a sped up clip or something. Okay, I'll play it again here for a quick note. If the dragon gets you down to about 5 hearts, it can insta-kill you sometimes. So if you have a rank that gives you access to the /heal command, if you get down to 5 hearts, you want to as quickly as possible, just type /heal. So I'll probably end up getting knocked down a bit here, so /heal, and you're back up to full health. So as you can see, if I hadn't have healed, I probably would have died there. So there's a minute cooldown there, which means you can use it every dragon pretty much. Unless it's a crazy Dboss party, and then you might not be able to. But yeah, the hide players should be available to all ranks, I believe. Yeah, which is very helpful. Don't worry too much about the Dragon's Breath, it doesn't hurt that much. It's not overly dangerous. Yeah. Ooh, almost died there. Okay. So now that dragon's dead, I'm going to talk about eye drop chances, and whether you should use shulker or Iron Golem. So first of all, eye drop chances. I have no idea what the default is. Like, I don't know if it's 1% or 2% or 10%. It's definitely not 10%. So as you can see, when you kill a summoner, you get a bar that pops up the top of the screen that said, guaranteed summoning eye. So that means you guaranteed to every 35 summoners at the most, get a summoning eye. Which means if you get super unlucky and none of the other chances trigger, on your 35th summoner, you will get an eye. Guaranteed. And when you get one, it resets back to 0. So, as for the mastery side of things, I will continue that after this dragon. In fact, it's an XP. I'm gonna just continue while the dragon's on. Don't really care about XP. Okay, so the eye drop chance. In /mastery, Endstone Mastery is the one that you want for Dboss. So, first of all, by default, the most frags you can obtain from a single dragon is 10. At tier 5 Endstone, that increases to 15. At tier 6 Endstone, you get a 20% less damage taken in the boss arena. That's pretty self-explanatory. Now, tier 7 is a bit weird. I'll explain that in a moment. And tier 8 is the max you really need for Dboss, which increases your max amount of fragments possible to 25. Now, the increased chance of summoning eye drop at tier 7 is not actually 5% extra chance of summoning eye drop. and I'll explain what I mean in a moment. So if you go to pets, and you see the summoner pet, it says increases your drop chance of summoning eyes by 3%, or 1%, or 5%, or whatever the level you have is. So, what that does is, it's actually not a chance to get an eye, it's a chance to double your eye when you get one naturally. So that's not counting defensive armor. So that means on the 35th eye, or on the 10th eye, wherever else you get one, not because of your defensive armor, you have a 5% chance, so 1 in 20, to double it, and your summoner pet can be anywhere from 1 in 100 all the way up to 1 in 20. So altogether, that's up to a 1 in 10 chance to double your eyes obtained naturally. Now, what do I mean by naturally? By naturally, I mean the ones you get without defensive armor. So, I'm hoping a message pops up in chat. I'm hoping the defensive armor triggers so I can explain that, but if not, I'll just explain it and you'll have to take my word for it. There we go. Okay, so as you can see here, your defensive armor found you with Summoning Eye. So that's what I mean by natural eyes. So natural eyes are not because of your armor, they are just found randomly. So as for the armor, it gives you at tier 1 plus 2 hearts and plus 1% chance to drop Summoning Eyes. Now that is actually plus 1% chance, so that is plus 1 in 100. At tier 2 it's plus 2%. You have to have the whole set to get that. It's only a hasty drag, I don't really care. And the set bonus you have is equal to the lowest full set you have. So even if this piece was tier 4, this was tier 3, and these two were tier 2, I would get the tier 2 set bonus. And as for the sword, which I was talking about before, what you want is Sharpness 6, Dragon Slayer 5, and that's all you need. Those other enchants, Retaliate, Backstab, Dual Strike, and Demise, they're for killing summoners. So the Demise means that when they're low in health, you do more damage. Dual Strike, extra damage chance, etc, etc. So that about wraps up this Dboss guide. I suppose I should just briefly touch on what the different armor sets do. So Explosive is for mining. That is used with Amali Gen, which I guess I'll put a link in the description. So if you want to mine, you want a full set of this as high level as possible because of the set bonus, which is a chance to mine ores in a 3-block radius. So at tier 5, which I have, it's 2.5%, so 1 in 40. At level 4, it's 1 in 100. Level 3, 1 in 200, 1 in 400, and 1 in 1000. So yeah, you really want bare minimum like level 3. So, the other armors. You have Colossal, which is for farming, at max level, which I have. It's plus 1 farm fortune for all crops. And it also increases farming enchant proc chance, which means the chance for a farming enchant to trigger. So that's like farming souls, greater farming, etc., which give you souls and XP. It's extra chance for those to trigger. And so at tier 4, it's melons, pumpkins, netherwort, beetroot, and carrots, so everything except potatoes. Tier 3, netherwort, beetroot, melons, pumpkins. Tier 2, melons, pumpkins, netherwort. Tier 1, melons and pumpkins. Next to the experienced armor, that's pretty simple. It's just a straight up XP multiplier, which is per piece, and the set bonus is a chance to double the XP when scrapping books. So if you don't know about scrapping books, you do /enchant, you click on enchant book scrapping and place any unwanted enchant books in here, and click the anvil. Do not put high value books in here. Do not put like multi-kill 3+. Do not put Dragon Hunter, things like that. Sell those on AH. This is for trash enchants like Radiate and Speed Swimmer. Things like You know, just not very good enchants, or very low level ones that aren't worth much money. Okay, just a few more armor sets left. So Hasty is for gaining MCMMO, which, if you don't know, is the system on the server that keeps track of your level, which is things like your mining, herbalism, which is farming, as well as your swords, which is slaying mobs. So it just increases the speed that you gain levels in that, and increases the length of your abilities, which are things like Super Breaker. Next up, you have Aquatic, which is for fishing, which, as you can see here, per piece, it's +% chance of finding the rarest fish type unlocked, and a set bonus is extra uses per bait. Defensive armor, I've already touched on that one. Each piece gives you a bonus damage to mobs and bosses, and it gives you hards and drop chance, which is actually drop chance, not a chance to double the drops. Ancient armor, it's pretty simple. It's a Sky Coin booster per piece. Not when fishing though, only farming, slaying, and mining. And the set bonus is plus soul earnings. Lastly, Champ armor, which is per piece, it gives you a cell multiplier, works on everything except fish, and the set bonus is a chance to double anything dropped, mined, killed, etc. I suppose I should also mention the Deconstruct, which you can put a piece of armor in and you will get almost nothing back. Like, for example, a helmet, you might get 5 frags back. So it's a very small portion, but, you know, sometimes it can be worth it, but very rarely. And also there is the fragment reroll, which you put 5 fragments in, it costs you 5 million and 50,000 Sky Coins, and yeah, it'll give you 1 fragment. So in theory you could get a champ frag and get a profit, but don't use this. It's not worth it, okay? Not worth it at all. So yeah, that should about do it for the Dboss guide. Quick note, with placing eyes, you can left click or right click, and every eye you place gives you plus 2.5 frags guaranteed. So if you place 1 frag, 1 eye, you'll be guaranteed 2 extra frags. If you place 2 eyes, you'll be guaranteed 5 extra frags. So usually it's best to place them in pairs. After each dragon is defeated, there's about like a 20-30 second period where the end portal is locked, and you'll be able to tell if it's locked because if there's no dragon and there's no end crystal floating in the middle, it's locked. When the end crystal appears, eyes can be placed again and a new dragon spawned. Like, I'll mention a couple good spots to shoot the dragon from. Right about here. Get in here with the sword. Yep, got booted pretty far that time. So yeah, good spots to stand while shooting about here. Another good spot is just generically over here somewhere. Nowhere specific. And also just like along this area here. As well as along this strip. Just down here a little bit. And another good spot is when the dragon spawns, you stand about here. Which means when the dragon spawns, it doesn't hit you very much, and you can start shooting it, and you'll be able to shoot it in any direction. Okay. Summoners do also drop XP and Sky Coins, which, as you can see, I've got Sky Coins there. And any frags, pouches, etc. that you obtain, and anything you buy off AH, claim from daily rewards, anything else, will go in your overflow, which you can access with /OF. Okay, and that does it for my Endship guide. That does it for my Dboss guide. I hope that helped you out. If you have any other questions about Dboss, or even, if you have any other questions about Dboss, let me know in the comments, and I'll answer them as best I can. The tips I've shared in this video are tried and tested by the top Dbosses like Worm, Iron Brand, and a few others like that. So yeah, these come from good authority. So be sure to like and subscribe if that helped you out, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.